You guys did, even going out with the parachute individuals that were gathering all the cords from I'm going to get the vernacular wrong, so don't judge me. I'm new here. But you went out. I saw each one of you say thank you to them for even gathering the parachute. You paid attention to everyone that was involved in this process, and it was a really special moment to see that out there at the capsule. So one of the incredible individuals that has made this all possible is Audrey Powers. She's the Vice President of Mission and Flight Operations and also a fellow astronaut. So let's hear from Audrey now.
Thank you. Please. Thank you. Thank you very much, Carissa. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for traveling from wherever you traveled from to join us today. Really appreciate you being here today. I represent a very talented group of people on the New Shepard program and also all across Team Blue, as we call ourselves. And I want you all to know how immensely proud we are to have flown this group to space today. We have quite an opportunity here on New Shepard to give people this experience and to change their lives. I want you to know first and foremost how very seriously we take that responsibility. This impressive group of people, I want to say from them, thank you so much for trusting us today to give this to you. We very much appreciate it. We're also very fortunate to have some other astronauts in the crowd today that joined us to watch this historic flight. So I'd like to ask all the astronauts present, can you please stand up just so we can see you? There are so many of you here. Thank you. I've had the wonderful pleasure in my career of working with many of you, and thank you for the trails that you've blazed for us, and thank you for the support that you've given many of us very directly, and thank you for the inspiration that you continue to give us. I have been at Blue for 12 years, and I've supported the New Shepard program for every one of the days that I have been here. And 5 years ago, the head of the New Shepard program gave me the best job at Blue Origin. And that is true. I will fight anyone over it. I have the best job. I'm the head of flight operations and maintenance here on the New Shepard program. And we have an audacious vision here at Blue of making space more accessible, like dramatically more accessible to the human population. And we want to do that, first and foremost, as we say, for the benefit of Earth. And New Shepard plays a really important role in that vision. I had the great privilege of representing Team Blue as the first employee to fly on New Shepard on NS-18, so 13 New Shepard flights ago. I was lucky enough to fly. And I will never forget, of course, the stunning, just breathtaking view of our home planet. But I also will never forget the deep, just rich blackness of the void of space. I will never forget that view. It is seared in my mind, and it's something that I can't describe properly. I still haven't figured out the words to describe what that texture thing looked like. It made me feel, in the moment, incredibly, just shockingly small. And we hear this a lot about views of the Earth from deep space. We are a speck of dust in this vast universe. And what I processed after the flight is that I and each of us that has this experience can have such a tremendous impact. And it's up to me whether I want that impact to be positive or whether I want it to be negative. And so, New Shepard is what we call the first step in this audacious vision. And it is a technology demonstrator for all of our other programs. You will find the technology that flies on New Shepard also present in our New Glenn vehicles, in our other engine programs, in our landers that will land on the moon. So it is wonderfully important for that reason, but is important because we are giving people who are not career astronauts, who have not worked their entire lives to become a professional astronaut, as we traditionally know that term. We are giving them this experience, and when they come back, they get to make a choice as to what they do with this experience. And so we also are working very hard on New Shepard with people who have amazing challenges and disabilities. And this experience is accessible for them. And we are going to fly every single one of them. And that makes me so, so proud that we're going to give these people this experience that never would have had it before.
Yeah, let's clap for that. Yeah.
Thank you. We feel very, very passionately about that. So we're going to fly all of them, I am convinced. But until we can fly all of them, I encourage these amazing women to never get tired of answering the question, so how was it? What was it like? How did it feel? You'll hear this thousands of times, right? From your best friends and your family members, but also from like random strangers on the street. They will come up to you and say, oh, I know you did that. What was it like? How did it feel? And what an amazing thing. We are so fortunate to be on the receiving end of that question, right? So on a very personal note, I'd encourage you to just embrace every opportunity to answer that question and give people that taste before they get it for themselves. On another very personal note, this flight matters a great deal to me. It matters to us women who have been in this spaceflight industry for decades and decades, just putting our heads down and humbly getting the work done. Even when we were the only female in the classroom, in the test lab, in the control center. It matters for youngsters who might now have a broader view of what it is to be an astronaut and what it is to experience spaceflight. And I am so very grateful that my career somehow landed me in the position to be involved in this flight. I am so fulfilled today. So on behalf of a deeply, deeply grateful Team Blue, congratulations to you all. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Audrey. There's so many things that I just thought about as I heard you speaking, and I want to get into it with all of you guys. First of all, I felt like we should all do one big breath in and one breath out. This like collective sigh of relief that you guys are back, that you are safe, but also just this incredible experience that you've had. And I know all your friends and family that are here in the front few rows also feel like we should just take a deep breath. So shall we do it? Okay, I'm going to count down from 3. We're going to breathe in and out. I love yoga. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, don't we all feel better? Okay, I know I do. Lauren? Congratulations. I want to start with you. In researching this entire process, I heard a lot about the overview effect, and it was something that I didn't know anything about. But what I have learned that you now will be able to share or to experience is because when people that go up to space and see Earth from space, they come back and their perception of Earth is different. How has your perception of Earth changed now? I know, albeit it's only an hour or so since you've been back, but how do you feel?
Yeah, definitely still processing, right? We all talked about that. Profound is like the one word I would use. I was up there and you see Earth and then, you know, it's completely black, but what we got was the moon. We got to see the moon and it was in complete and utter darkness. And then you look back at Earth and it's like this beautiful jewel. It was quiet. It felt like it was breathing. It was so alive. And that's kind of what I felt, just this aliveness of Earth. But you look at it and you go, wait a second, we're all on this planet. All the people that we love, this is it. And that's, I was like, we have one planet. Because out there, it's dark. It is, you know, William Shatner even said this when he went to space, and now I understand what he was talking about. It's like death. And I don't know, it just made me want to,
Yeah.
I just come back with an open heart, and it really opened me wide open, and hopefully I can bring that to other people and also just protect this planet we're on. Yeah. I mean, this is the only one we've got. So I'm completely and utterly humbled by this experience. Wow. Yeah. And beyond grateful.
Absolutely. There are so many people on this planet that you love and care about. You have one in particular that you would like to highlight today. Who is that?
Oh, I get to do that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There is one person who I was in community college. I'll say this really quick so everyone has a chance to talk up here. I don't want to take up a lot of time. And she saw a little girl in the back of the room who never felt like she belonged, and she pulled her up. And she got me tested for dyslexia, and my life kind of took off from there. And Lori, if you're here, I flew this feather to space for you.
Lori, there you are. Yeah. Everybody, put your hands together for Lauren's teacher.
I can give it to you later. I can give it to you later. But I just want you to know this teacher changed.
Here, we can pass it back.
She changed my life. And for all of you teachers out there, just know that you have such an impact on the kids in your classroom. And Lori, thank you so much for seeing the little girl in the back who didn't think she belonged.
Oh, thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren, for sharing that. I know that we all had the incredible privilege of seeing you guys go up, but we didn't get to see what was happening inside the capsule. So why don't we take a look at that video right now?
We haven't seen it. I want to see it myself.
1, 2, 3, take us space! You look right behind you. It's okay, you put it up there. Flynn, I got you. I got you, Flynn. Oh, the moon! You guys, I don't have to tell you. Look at the moon. Look. Okay. Look at the moon. Oh my gosh. So whoa, whoa, whoa. That's amazing.
Wow.
Gosh, that's good.
I know. Katie's face says it all right there. So, Katie, I'll jump to you for a comment. You holding up that daisy, I know you got to tell me outside the capsule how important that was, not only because it's your daughter's name, but everything that it encompasses for you, and I would love for you to share it with the audience.
I don't know if I can cry anymore. Daisies, sometimes people consider daisies weeds because they grow everywhere and through everything, and they show up in so many different places. But daisies are just so resilient. And flowers, for me, I believe, are like God's laughter and God's smile. And I brought a daisy because I have so much love for my daughter Daisy, and I have so much love for Mother Earth. And I believe you can see the beauty in the Mother Earth in a single resilient daisy. That's why I brought it.
It's beautiful. Gayle, when you saw even just a snippet of that right there, first of all, congratulations, you did it. You did it.
I
know. You did it.
What's funny about this, Chris, is that our instructor, Sarah, my new best friend, said, "You are my most success story because I've never trained anyone that was afraid to fly or was a nervous flyer. So I consider you a big success." And I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me because I never in a gazillion years thought I could do this. And I just saw a video of us walking up the I don't want to call it plank, but what's the proper thing, Lauren?
That's right.
You can call it anything you want. You're an astronaut.
No, but walking
dancing on the threshold of life.
Yes. Walking up the platform and people are ringing the bell and everybody's smiling and I'm just walking in. And it's because at that moment I was so afraid. I just wanted to get into my seat because I just wanted to let the training kick in. I just wanted to get inside the capsule and sit down. So the process of walking up there was a little daunting for me. And I got a text from a friend who's from Germany. So, you have to appreciate the sense of humor. He says, once you get there, you're going to feel like it's sex with the gods. Said, well, that's never had sex with a god to my knowledge, so thank you for the visual. I didn't think that, but I did think that all the stuff that you hear about the blackness and the blue is it's a neon blue, and it's still and it's quiet, and we were all feeling this experience together, I know I will never forget it. So for me, it just says to me, if I can do this, I was telling these guys, I might even now get my ears pierced. I've never gotten my ears pierced because that hurts. But I walked out of there thinking, gosh, I can do anything. I can do anything.
Oh.
And when you get out and they say, welcome home, never felt and sounded so good.
Oh, that is it's so amazing. And you just summarized so many different things because so many people are afraid of a lot of things.
Yes.
But your fear was a big fear.
A big fear.
And so for you to conquer that and do it with such humility and such vulnerability too, instead of trying to act tough, instead of trying to act brave, just be who you are. And Lauren, you always talk about this. Who you are is enough. If you are there, then you belong. And guess what, Gayle? You belong in the astronaut club.
Oh, thanks. I still struggle with that word. Because I know Mae Jemison is here. Sion is here.
No, I know, but
I know. I honestly can't feel astronaut title yet. I'm very glad to be part of the club. But I look at these women and I go, wow, wow, wow. But I'm so happy to be a member in any kind of way.
Absolutely. Carrie Ann, when you watched that video, what did you think watching it back? And then have, again, just a short amount of time to process everything that's happened to you, but how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling a lot more calm since the first time you and I spoke. I felt a sense of peace up there. I think I blacked out during most of it, except for when I was looking out the window, which is really what I wanted to get out of it. And as everyone has described, the vast darkness of space, it's a color you cannot describe. It was very important for me to see the moon and look down on the earth and know that the people that I love the most were down there. It was a pretty transcendental moment for me. But I think, one of the biggest things actually as a filmmaker is I almost felt as if I was watching a really intimate film. And I wasn't only a witness to that film, but I was also the storyteller.
Beautiful. Did it feel like you were up there for a long time, or did it feel really quick?
One of the things during training that I said that really surprised me was it felt like our quote 0G time was really long, and I knew I was going to have a lot of time to look out the window and go upside down, and it went so fast.
Yeah.
It went so fast.
I see all you guys shaking your head.
I could have taken 2 more minutes. Just 2.
Oh, now the one that didn't want to go up
Gayle.
now wants to stay up longer.
I could have taken
My gal.
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes.
We'll take that back to the blue team. She would like to increase this experience
Yes,
by 2
Dave,
minutes.
I would have liked 2 more minutes.
Amanda, I know this is a lifelong dream of yours, and now it is a dream fulfilled. Now that you can say that you've had this experience, and to Audrey's point earlier, you will be asked about it over and over again. When I ask you, how was it? What is your response?
What a beautiful world we have. And when I looked over it, all I could think, yes, the science was done. And that actually is a dream in itself. I think one of the happiest moments, this is going to make me sound like a nerd, and I am, so I own that, was when I found out that we could operate the science inside the capsule.
What do you mean by that? Because I'm not.
Originally, my experiments were going to be passive payloads, which I'm also very see the data from that. But to be able to do that and operate it while we had our moment in microgravity was such a phenomenal dream for me. Mm-hmm. And the person who had to sacrifice that in order to find justice was able to do that. So that in itself was a dream come true. But I did get to float my 0G indicators. I showed both of you.
Yeah, but I had the great luxury, but I know that the audience doesn't know what you had. I would love if you shared it with them.
Yeah, after I left the hospital after my rape kit, I wrote down a promise to myself, never, never, never give up. I taped it to my laptop and looked at it every day as I fought for my rights. And that was my 0G indicator, looking at it over Earth. And for me in that moment, I just want every survivor and every person who's ever had a dream deferred to know that your dreams are valid, that even if your life has thrown you a lot of challenges, you will make it through. And even if your dreams are as wild as going to space, they matter, and you can get there too. If I got there, you can get there too.
Beautiful. Aisha, I know representation. Yes, please clap to that. Representation is so important. Congratulations. The first Bahamian woman in space, ladies and gentlemen. And we saw on that short video, which I also would like to be 2 minutes longer because I want to see everything that was going on up there. You had your flag. Explain and expand upon the importance of representation for you up there.
In 1961, when Alan Shepard was launched, we know where he left from, but do you know where he landed? He landed in Grand Bahama. And today I had an opportunity to be on a flight that mimicked that trajectory and allowed me to carry the legacy of my grandfather, who came from Exuma, Bahama, which was my call sign on this trip. And it carried the flag of the Bahamas as a powerful reminder of the past, the present, and the future of space.
And your grandfather was here today.
Yes, he is. He's right there.
Where is he? Where is he? There he is. There he is.
92 years young.
Thank you for being here. You must be so proud. All right, I would love to open it up now to the press for some questions, and I know that appropriately enough, the first question comes from CBS Outlet.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Strauss.
All right, you were just listening to all 6 women who were part of the Blue Origin's all-women flight to space, a historic one, by the way. So you heard all those women, including Gayle King, by the way, who, made some comments there that had a bunch of us out here laughing in the studio about how it was like sex with the gods. Amazing experience, I'm sure, but we want to bring in an expert now to tell us more about how all of this was like. He's a Franklin Institute chief astronomer and planetarium director, Derek Pitts. Derek, so nice to have you with us here today. First, how important is this growing of the industry of just basically space tourism? How important is this?
Well, this actually is fairly important because of the fact that what it's doing is it's expanding our non-government agency capability to access low Earth orbit. And that's a really critical thing. There are roles to be had for the different agencies and companies that have the capability to get to space. And doing space tourism like this is practice for accessing low Earth orbit and building our capability out to access low Earth orbit across a number of companies. And that's a really good thing to have that kind of availability of resources to get to space.
And we know this was a 10-minute journey, but I'm sure a lot of people are watching and wondering, what was that like? Can you walk us through what these women may have witnessed or seen as they were up there?
Well, first of all, there's the anticipation before launch of actually going to space. And you have to count that as part of the experience, getting yourself ready to do this. But then once the spacecraft lifts off, they're feeling the acceleration as the rocket is rising up from the surface of the Earth, heading up to more than 335,000 feet and topping, 2,500 miles an hour. And so what they feel once they get to the maximum altitude and then start to come back is they begin to feel the zero gravity or weightless experience. And they can look out the windows and see the curvature of the Earth, see space, in this case, see the rising full moon. It's a great experience for them.
Gosh, it sounds surreal, too, as you describe all of that. 6 women got to go there. We know Gayle King was one of them, Katy Perry. It all brings a sense of relatability to all of this. But then there's this big question for all of us who may not even get a chance to go to space. How accessible is this for the everyday people out there?
Well, I think what we saw today is a perfect example of how accessible it is for everyday people. On the one hand, we're talking about what does it take to do the training? What are the physical parameters? What is the physical experience like? What kind of training do you have to go through? Those sorts of things. I think what we saw today, as well as the flights that went previous to this as part of Blue Origin, is that almost anybody has the physical capability to take a trip like this. But in terms of accessibility, this is expensive.
Of course.
Right now, it costs a lot of money for individuals to travel to space like this. So I think it's going to be a while before we see the price come down to a point where it's really reasonable for anybody to just say, purchase a ticket to go. If we look at what happens in one of the other companies that's advertising space tourism trips, you know, the ticket prices are extraordinarily expensive, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this is not something that everybody's going to be doing, you know, this summer just for a lark.
Right, right. We had a while to go, but it's also very nice to kind of see those women go through the experience too and get a sense of just how surreal this must all be. Derek Pitts, thank you so much for joining us on 24/7. We appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you have been watching the Blue Origin flight to space. 6 women, all women crew, by the way. They got to make it up there. So a very historic day. We have much more on that flight coming up right after we take a break here. But you're watching CBS News 24/7. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
Here comes a big one.
What I've seen, it's like chaos.
This is the pager that Hezbollah was using.
How was this possible?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Whoa.
Wow.
Ask me the hard-hitting questions.